So, as promised, today we're going to look at the complete in the square form. Now, there's a long way to do complete in the square, and then there's a shortcut way. I'm going to show you all the shortcut because I want all this to just get all the marks, right? But if you want me to show you the long way, that's fine. I could show you the long way, but this is the easiest way to guarantee your marks in complete in the square. Right, complete in the square form. So you're probably wondering, well, so why we had to just complete in the square thing, boy? So the completing square form is very valuable because it allows us to find the maximum or the minimum point of a quadratic curve. So we could use this to figure out the maximum or minimum turning point. We also use the completing square form to figure out the axis of symmetry. So these are the kind of questions you could ask in the exam. Axis of symmetry. They could ask you the maximum or minimum value for f of x, maximum or minimum value. They could ask you, what is the value of x? By chance, anybody ever see these questions in a quadratic question before? What is? Let me know, guys. Have you ever see these types of questions before? Well, don't be so dry so now. Let me know. 4 5 people.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, cool. What is the value of x for which the maximum or minimum occurs? So generally speaking, completing the square is useful because it allows you to get these sets of information. And the completing the square form itself actually looks like this. F of x is equal to a, open bracket, x plus h, close bracket, squared, plus k. So that is the complete in square form. F of x is equal to a, x plus h squared plus k. Nice. What are the main formulas you need to know here? Well, you need to know what h is equal to. H is equal to b over 2a. Does anybody know what k is equal to? Formula for k? Let me know, guys.
4ac minus b squared over 4a.
Right, some students would learn this 4ac minus b squared all over 4a. Does anybody know the alternative one? And okay, Sienna, you there? Sienna, let me know if you're there.
Yes, sir.
Right, so Sienna, you told me this, right? 4ac minus b squared over 4a.
Yes, sir.
Watch this, right? How would I split up this? It's seen as a fraction, right? We've seen as a fraction. How would I split up that? Do you know how you would split up that?
It would be, I see the other way, but it would be 4ac minus b squared. I don't know, actually. 4ac, I don't know.
All right. Let me just take a little back to SCA days, right? Let me go back to SCA days. Guys, if I had a half, well, I'm just making a mile bigger, right? Just to make it as easy to follow as possible. If I had 7 over 2 minus 5 over 2, what would that be equal to, guys? Does anybody here know? So I have the same denominator. What would that be equal to? Anytime
Two
you,
Not
over
to want to?
2 over 2.
that would be 2 over 2, right? But how did we figure that out? Well, they have the same denominators, so I could just follow the operation at the numerator. So that's going to be 7 minus 5 all over 2. That makes sense, right? No rocket science there. Let me know if that makes sense, guys. Nikolai, Sienna, Saskia, Christian, Amira, Vani, Samir, Serena.
Yeah, it makes sense.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I have a question. If I had 7 minus 5 over 2, and I could take this and write it like this if I wanted.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I want a little follow where I'm going with that, right? Let me follow another example to make sure you see what I'm talking about. Say I had 9 plus 5 over 4. What do you think I could split that up into?
9 over 4 plus 5 over 4.
What do you all think? Yeah? No? Maybe?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So if you could see that, I think Ollie could see this too. So I want you to split this up into 2 fractions for me. So I want Sienna to do it for me. Sienna, look at this trend and apply the same trend to this. It is the exact same thing. I promise.
So, sorry, the dog's loud. Would it be 4AC over 4A minus B over 4A?
Sienna, who let the dogs out? I just had to do that. Just had to do that. Yeah. Everybody seeing what I'm talking about, right? I'm not doing anything crazy. I don't know if you're following. Are you seeing this? I need some feedback, Guys, I'm not feeling well, so I try
Yes,
not to
sir.
talk too much, but
Yes, sir.
so
Yes,
like,
sir.
okay, good, good.
Yes, sir.
Um, so, Sienna, are you seeing anything we could potentially cancel off to simplify?
Um,
Check this out. Is there anything you could potentially cancel off?
the four A's, like the 4A and the 4A.
Ah, so guys, if I cancel off the 4A's, I'm just gonna end up with what? What am I gonna end up with for key?
C
C
minus B
minus,
squared over 4A.
Yes. Sienna, you understand that, right?
yes, sir.
Right. So some students would learn this, some students would learn this. I'm here to tell you they're the exact same thing. I prefer to use this one though, 'cause I think it's best to remember. C minus B squared over 4A. Which one are you going to use? I just want to do a little survey. How much people gonna use this one for K?
So
For
I use that one for my exam. So I think now, like, I'll already learn that one off.
That's
So I
not a
think I'll
problem.
use.
It's not a problem. This is valid. How much people gonna use this one?
I think I'm gonna use the second one, sir.
All right. Second one shorter. So let me just write it here. Cool, they're the exact same thing. Now, again, why is this important? Why do we even care? I'll show you why. So this is H, this is K. Now, if you want to figure out, so I'm just going to do a sketch of a quadratic, right? Let's do a quick sketch of a quadratic. Quick question, guys. This quadratic, does it look like a maximum or minimum? If you had to say.
The mom.
A maximum, sir.
The mom.
Max.
Right, because it's going up to the highest point. It's going up to the maximum point and it's going down. Now,
Yes, sir.
for this type of quadratic, I'm just asking, what would the coefficient of x squared be? Would it be positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative, sir.
Yes, I remember from last class when we was doing quadratics, I told earlier, if it's a negative, right, it's sad. So it'll be frowning. Seeing kind of frowning. Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
if A is a negative number, it means that the quadratic curve is going to be a maximum. It's going to have a maximum turning point. Do you think you could see the turning point, the point at which the gradient changes? Like the direction of the gradient changes? Are you all seeing that turning point anywhere here?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So like the next question is, Vanessa, do you know what a turning point is?
Kinda, but I don't know how to explain it.
All right. So Vanessa, I want you to tell me where to stop, right? Tell me when I reach the turning point. Starting here, tell me when to stop, right? I go in.
I can stop.
Right. This is the turning point. Because imagine if you were driving a car. If you were driving a car, wouldn't you be going uphill here?
Mm-hmm.
Then it would be kind of flat here. And then you'd be going downhill. So you can see that the direction of the gradient changes. And so this is the turning point. This is the point at which it turns. Everybody okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bet.
Yes, sir.
So we call this the turning point. And the turning point is given by minus h comma k. This is the turning point, my friends. Turning point. It's given by minus h comma k. So with these types of questions, you will look at the quadratic, you'll figure out what a, b, and c is. You'll plug it into these formulas. You'll find for h, you'll find for k. Once you have h and k, you could figure out every single thing here. Everything. So this is the turning point. And I have a question, guys. In any point or in any coordinate, what is the first value given by? Is it like a x value or y value? What is it?
X.
X value. Great. And the second value is the? What's the second
Y
value?
value.
Y.
Which axis is this?
Y.
Why?
Right, this is the y-axis. And which axis is this?
The x-axis.
Yeah, this is the x-axis. So let me just actually shift this thing a little bit. Right, how about like that? To make that less ambiguous. Cool. So I have a question for you guys. Christian. Christian in there?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Christian, what do you think is going to come over here? The minus h, which represents the x value, or the k, which represents the y value? So this,
So would the X with the minus H go there, sir?
perfect. Yes, yes. Because the minus h corresponds to what axis?
The x-axis.
Perfect. So I'm going to put, and it's important that you understand this, eh? If you understand something, you'll have a harder time forgetting it naturally. So I'm going to put minus h here. And guys, what do you think this corresponds to in this coordinate?
The
Some
K.
Yeah, the k.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the k, because the k corresponds to the y-axis. So I hope you understand that. So I have a couple of questions, guys. I have a couple of questions. First one, and they love to ask this question. So I'm gonna just put a title, commonly asked questions. So, number one, what is the maximum or minimum value of f of x? So f of x is just the function, and it's graphed by this quadratic over here. So this represents f of x, which is the function. So they're asking us, what is the maximum or minimum value of f of x? Now, in this graph, do we have a maximum or minimum?
A maximum, sir?
Right. Now, when I say maximum, are you thinking of the x-axis or the y-axis? When I say the word maximum, what you thinking about?
The y-axis, sir?
The Y-axis.
Anybody else have that thought? So when I say the maximum point, you think I'm going up on the x-axis or the y-axis? What do you think?
The y-axis, sir.
Good, the y-axis. Because we could see that you're going up, you're going up, you're going up. Isn't this the maximum value you're reaching?
Yes, sir.
Everybody's seeing that, right? This is like the maximum value you're reaching. K is the maximum value you're reaching. I hope everybody understand that. If you do, unmute and tell me. I'll understand now. No. Talk to my guys.
Yes.
Yes, sir, I
Yes,
understand.
sir.
All right. So anytime you see this question where they're asking you the maximum or the minimum value of the function, that is just simply equal to the k value. The k value tells you how high or how low your graph going. Number two, another question they like to ask is, what value for x does this occur at? What value of x does this occur at? Wait. So, I have a question, guys. What value for x gave us this k value? Could somebody tell me what value of x gave me that k value? By looking at the
-8.
let me hear from somebody else too now. Everybody in class. So, what value of x gave me that k value? Amira, Vanessa, Kelly, Serena, Samir, Vani.
Negative
-8.
H.
Let's see now with our own eyes, right? So, like, what? Check this out. Check this out. This is k. K is the maximum value, right? In this instance, is the maximum value. And if we take a vertical read off on the x-axis, where are you reading? Tell me, guys, where are you reading there? Anybody?
The negative H.
Right. So when they ask you, Amira, I want you to read number 2 for me. Read that for me. You gotta remember it.
What value of x does the max or min occur at?
Right. That would occur at k or minus h. Tell me,
So
Amira.
minus h?
Yeah, minus h. You fully understand that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then they will ask you for the axis of symmetry, they might. What is the axis of... When you hear axis of symmetry, what comes to mind? You know what? Forget that. That might sound a little complicated. When you hear symmetry, what comes to mind? Symmetry.
So when something even,
All right, so I'm gonna send all it back to SCA days, right? Let's send all it back to SCA days. Let me just pretend that is our perfect shape, right? Perfect crescent. How much lines of symmetry could I draw? If I have this shape over here, how much lines of symmetry could I draw?
1,
Would it be here?
yes, sir.
Let's see now. I hope I'm not confusing anybody. When I say axis of symmetry, I'm asking you for the line of symmetry. But we want to get an equation for that on the graph. Could everybody see that this line would cut this crescent in like 2 symmetrical parts?
Yes, sir.
All right. So when we look at this curve over here, are you seeing any way I could like put on a line of symmetry for that?
Yes, sir. At the x-axis. At
Yeah.
negative H.
Yes, man. Everybody seeing that, right? Are you seeing that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
If you draw a vertical line passing through minus h on the x-axis, you're going to draw a line of symmetry. And you need to specify what the equation for that is. So, Vanessa, this vertical line is passing through what? What is that vertical line passing through, Vanessa?
The x-axis.
What value on the x-axis?
Minus h.
Right. So you're going to write x is equal to,
Negative h.
that is all. That is it. I run it back one more time. Anytime they ask you for the axis of symmetry, it's clear to see that this line would cut the curve in 2 symmetrical parts. This line is passing through minus h that is on the x-axis. All right? Is on the x-axis. So you'll say x is equal to negative h because you're passing through minus h on the what axis, guys? Somebody tell me. You're passing through minus h.
X-axis, sir.
Right. So you say x is equal to minus h. So what is the axis of symmetry? Well, all the time, that's just going to be x is equal to minus h. And these are the commonly asked questions. Cool. Are we feeling okay? Let me know, guys. How are we feeling?
Good, sir.
That's good.
Good, sir.
Let me just give me a second. Nikolai, this is bringing back any memories?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So If you don't understand, that is okay, you know. I'm here to help you in whatever way I can, but you need to tell me you're confused. Is anybody confused as to why I'm saying this equation is x is equal to minus h? That vertical line? If you are, don't be scared. Let me know. Is anything confusing you here?
So I just have one.
Sure, no problem. See, I'm not talking.
Why would it be negative h?
Why would it be negative h?
Yeah. No, like I understand why x is equal to negative h because it's x and y and minus h is in the x space. But why is h negative?
I had the proof for that somewhere. Give me a second. It's like a long proof. Where's the proof? Where is it? Hopefully I find it, but I did the proof for that somewhere. Did I do it in art maths? Let me see if I can find that proof. Come on a second. Yeah, this is the proof. This is the proof. And you're wondering why x would be equal to negative h?
Yeah, like why is h negative?
Okay, let me see how best I could try to explain that. So you understand that the turning point is minus h comma k?
Yeah,
All right. Now, if if the turning point, okay, I need to understand where exactly you want me to explain. So like, let me try to explain this. This is the turning point, and so x is minus h. So as
yeah,
such, the axis of symmetry would be x is minus h because it's passing through minus h. But
yes, sir.
I think you want to know why h had to be negative.
Yeah.
Let
Is,
me
is it just like that? Like that's just how it was?
yeah, it's always negative to figure out the turning point. But I want to give you a good mathematical answer that will not confuse you.
So like if they ask a question like to express a quadratic that well to express like it's any form where it's any form ax squared plus bx plus c and actually to express it in the form a in brackets x plus h squared plus k
Mm-hmm.
you and you have to put it as real numbers. If you like use the well you use the formula to find h which is b over 2a, do you
Right.
have to write b in the when you're writing the answers in the real form as negative as h is negative or no?
Wait, when you're writing the completing square form, when you're writing this particular form, this form,
Yeah,
right? Whatever you find h to be, you're just gonna put that over here. So if you're not gonna negate it, you're not gonna change the sign. Whatever you find h is over here,
yeah,
just gonna write
yeah.
it over here. So like
Okay,
if I found h to be equal to 5, right? If I found h to be equal to 5, then I'll write a open bracket x plus 5 squared plus k. However, when we're talking about the turning point, that would be
so
given by
negative.
yeah, so that'll be negative 5 comma whatever k is. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. So that's like what I really wanted to know. That if you had to put it as negative in the form of the completing square.
Oh no, 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 no.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I want to give you like a mathematical, like the proof over here. This is how they come up with the complete any square form. So you see like ax squared plus bx plus c, a, b, and c are elements of the real number system. All right, this is the proof. Because when you do all the maths and you rearrange it in the complete any square form, you're going to get h is equal to b over 2a and k is equal to c minus b squared over 4a.
Okay, sir.
I'll try to come up with a simple explanation for you sometime later that will not
Yes,
conflict
sir.
with
It's
a
okay.
diagram.
It's okay. I just really wanted to know if it have to be negative in your form.
Oh
Because
no.
it was a question in my exam, and I didn't put I was negative, and I put I was like positive because that was where my answer was equal to when I used the H is equal to B over.
I'll show you what to do in that instance. Don't worry. I'll show you what to do in that instance.
Okay,
But
sir. Thank you.
when you're given the quadratic, it's going to be in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. That is in the regular quadratic form. Now we want to put that into what form again? Remind me, guys. What is the complete any square form? What does that look like? Do you remember?
A in brackets x plus h squared plus k.
Right. And again, this is the complete any square form. So I will give you all some time to copy this down, and then we'll do a bunch of questions. All right. I could just put this to the side. You don't necessarily have to copy this down. I was just showing you the importance of completing the square. Right. Yeah, so like if you could see everything, let me know. If you're not seeing everything, let me know if I have to zoom in more, but if you're seeing everything, tell me. Vanessa, Nikolai, Sienna, Christian, Amira, Sheena, let me know if you all seen everything.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so Sienna, you there?
Yes, sir.
Sienna, is you add maths by chance?
No, sir.
No? Okay. I really contemplating if I should give this explanation. Okay, I'll try a thing. I'll try a thing. So, Serena, I'm asking Serena, Sienna, right? And if any of you like maths, I like to pay attention. I'm gonna explain why x is equal to negative h. Now, Sienna, at
Yes,
x
sir.
at x is equal to negative h, you're gonna get the what value? When x is negative h, you're getting the what value?
The turning point or the x value.
Now here what I'm saying, right? When x is minus h, what value you gonna get? So that's the input. What value you gonna get out?
A negative value.
Now, when x is minus h, what do you get?
The turning point.
Now, a turning point is made up of a x and a y value. But I asking you, when x is minus h, what are you gonna get? What value? Like the maximum value, the minimum value. That's what I mean now. Watch. When x is minus h,
You will get a maximum. You will get a maximum value.
right, and that's for this example. You could get a minimum as well. Now, Sienna, when does a maximum occur?
When the coefficient of x squared is negative.
Exactly. So let me show you something, right? Quickly. Check this out, right? So let me just say a is negative 1. And if it's a maximum, a will be negative.
Yes, sir.
So like we put a negative 1 there. All right. And you know what? I'm gonna put x plus 5 here. This is just a little example for you to understand. All right. So, Sienna, we want to figure out what value of x is going to give us the maximum or the minimum. That's what we want to figure out. So, Sienna, do you understand at minus h, it gives you what? What does it give you? When x is minus h, what does it give you?
It gives you the x value
No,
or the maximum.
I'm telling you that x is minus h. I'm telling you x is minus h. Remember, in functions, you take a x value, you'd put it in, and what you get out? You get what out? Remind me, Sienna. You take a input, a x value, after
Oh,
you
you
take,
get the output,
right,
which
which
is
is
y.
perfect. So when x is minus h, what do you get?
You get
What value?
the y value,
Right, the y value, which is represented by
f of x, or k. K.
k. K, yes, that's what I wanted to hear, k. So we want to figure out the value for x that's going to give us k. You hear what I'm saying? Like, we want to figure out the value for x that's going to give us the maximum value here. Understand?
Yes, sir.
So, like, I have a question for you. I want you to look at this problem for me. If you put x as, say, I have a question. The x plus 5 is in a bracket and is being squared. Now, if something is being squared, no matter what, my answer is always going to be what? Positive or negative?
Positive.
Exactly. Think about it. If you put negative 100 there, negative 100 plus 5, that's going to be negative 95. But you know what's negative 95 squared? A positive number. So, no matter what value you put inside our brackets, you're going to get a positive number.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And on the outside, what you have?
Negative 1.
Right. So, let me just say I get 50 in the brackets. That 50 going to multiply by what next?
What will multiply by?
Yeah. So, I have 50 in the brackets. I find after,
Oh, it will
after
multiply by minus 1. Wait, that's when it's squared. That's when 50 squared.
Yeah, that's the final answer. After you square it and thing, I just a hypothetical situation. So let me just say you get 50 after you do whatever inside the brackets. You get 50.
You will have to multiply by minus 1.
What's minus 1 by 50?
Minus 50.
Right. And then you're gonna have to add what to it.
K value, which is 3.
You're gonna get, and here we're gonna happen, right? You're gonna get minus what? What's minus 50 plus 3?
Minus 50 plus 3 is minus 50.
No, minus 47. Are we minus 47? Minus 50 plus 3 is minus.
Oh, yeah, because it's a positive. Sorry, sir.
That's okay. So what I want you to understand is that once you put in something inside this bracket, you're gonna get a positive number, right? And a positive number times a negative number is a
Negative.
right. And remember the whole point in doing this, we're trying to figure out the value for x that's gonna give us the what value,
K value.
right? The highest value, the maximum. You understand?
Yes, sir.
You think 50 was? You think if I get 50 inside the bracket, is that a good thing or a bad thing? If I trying to figure out the highest I could go up to, it's pretty bad, right? Because you end up with negative 47. Would you say negative 47 is high or low?
It's low.
Yeah. So I have a question for you. What would happen now if x is minus 5? If I tell you x is minus 5, what our bracket gonna turn to?
It's going to turn into a positive.
Nah. So inside the bracket you have x plus 5. If I tell you x is negative 5, I telling you x is negative 5. What is negative 5 plus 5?
0.
Right. So inside the bracket now you're gonna get 0. Yeah? You with me?
Yes. So when multiply by anything, it will just be 0.
Right. And we're gonna end up with 0 plus 3.
3.
Exactly. That's going to give you the maximum value. So that is why h, Okay, that's why x has to be negative h.
Okay, sir.
I feel like you didn't get that. The point is, right? I have a question. I feel like the point is, you want to figure out the maximum value.
Yes, sir.
If you put anything inside that bracket, you're gonna get a positive number. A positive number times a negative number is a negative number. If you have a negative number and you have plus 3, wouldn't that reduce the number? Wouldn't that make the number smaller?
Yes, sir.
But when x is minus 5 now, what do you do into the brackets?
It curly brackets more.
Wait, now inside the brackets you have x plus 5. If I tell you x is minus 5, what gonna happen inside that brackets there?
In
So it's minus 5 plus 5. I'm telling you x is minus 5.
I go to turn into 0
Right, you're gonna turn to 0. And if the bracket is 0, 0 by negative 1 is what?
is 0.
Right, so that's just gonna leave you with what?
Positive 3.
Right. But in any other instance, if you say anything other than minus 5, you'd get a positive value for the brackets, you'd multiply that by the negative 1, and you would end up taking away something from the 3, which would lower the value. You see?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you're looking at this, right? So minus 1, x plus 5 squared plus 3. If you're looking at this, could you tell me what h and k would be? If you're looking at this, what would h and k be? If you...
K would be K would be 3
Mm-hmm.
and H would be 5.
Right. Now, you could do this. Tell me, what value of x is going to not take away from the 3? What value for x would I have to put in to get the maximum value? After what we just discussed, something. What value?
0.
Nah, you want to get 0 in the bracket. So what x should be?
It should be a negative value.
Right? And what would I need to put inside the bracket such that I'll get 0? I have x plus 5. What plus 5 is 0?
Minus 5 plus 5
Exactly. So when x is minus 5, that bracket turns to what?
to 0.
Exactly. And 0 by negative 1 is 0. And that doesn't take away from the plus 3.
So the X has to be a negative value.
Right. Check this out. You're going to be mind blown at this point, right? So, ain't you just tell me x would be minus 5?
Yes, sir.
Where's h?
Plus 5.
Ah, you see where we're going with this, right? So,
Yes, sir.
x would just actually be what?
So just be 0.
Nah, x wouldn't be 0.
But it would have to be a negative.
Yeah, x is negative 5. X is negative 5 in this example. Because negative 5 plus 5 is 0. Now, the point I'm trying to make is, you're seeing x is what? X is equal to what? What are you seeing x is equal to?
Negative 5.
Right? What is h equal to?
H is equal to 5.
Right. So you're seeing here that I'm just saying x is equal to negative h.
Oh,
Look,
yes, sir.
look at that for yourself. H is 5. But to get the maximum value, we have to plug in minus 5. Which is really just what? Negative 5 is really just what?
0.
No, negative h. Because
Oh,
h is 5. H is 5. H is
because you can't take away from the K value.
you don't want to take
You
away
don't
from...
want it to take away from your K values. So you make
Exactly.
it 0.
Exactly. That's why I want to make the bracket 0. Think about it. If you want to find the maximum value, do you want to take away anything from the k value?
Yes, sir.
Nah. But in this instance, no matter wherever you put inside here, once is not minus 5, it's gonna give you some number. That number gonna multiply by negative 1.
They're going to take away from your K value because it'll be negative and it'll
Eh,
be less.
Yes, you have it. So you understand why x has to be negative 5. because that's the
Yes.
only time when that bracket going to turn to 0. And 0 by -1 is 0. So we're going to end up in our process taking away nothing from the tree. So that would give us the maximum value. Now, what value does that? Well, when x is equal to -5. But you notice something. H is actually 5. So x is actually what? If h is 5, what x would be equal to?
X would be equal to like X any axis or X
Oh,
in
here.
general.
Like I want you to notice that trend. So I'm saying x is equal to -5. I'm saying x is equal to -5, right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying x is equal to -5. And what is h equal to?
5.
Right. So write what x is in terms of h. See if you can do that.
X is negative
X is negative what?
-5. So it
Right.
has to be negative in terms of H.
Yeah, x would have to be -h because you notice
So
h is positive 5. You see that, right? H is positive 5. But for me to get my
yes,
maximum, x has to be what?
X has to be negative.
-5. So you realize that -5 is just negative h, because negative h would be -5.
Yes, sir.
So that is why when you're writing the turning point, the x value is -h and the
Oh,
y
okay,
value
sir.
is k. Is the opposite to figure out the minimum. Is the opposite. Is the opposite to find the minimum. But it's the same process, right? All we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out what value for x gonna make the bracket 0. That's all. That's all. So that's why they say
Okay.
minus h. Because you see, this is h. That's h.
Yes, sir.
What is minus h plus h?
Minus H plus H is 0.
Exactly. So that's why we just say minus h, because we want whatever is in the bracket, the x plus h, to turn to 0. That would tell us the maximum or
So
the
it
minimum.
don't take away from K.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, that was like a little rant going into like the the intuition behind the maths. But like I know I write up on the screen and things, so I'm not sure how much I'll get to copy down. So I'm gonna give Ollie a little more time. Take 3 minutes. So at 6:01, you should have most of this copy down. After that, we'll do a good bit of questions to make sure you have this locked in. Serena, I know you really like maths, right? You understand what I was saying, like where the bracket would have to be 0, so it wouldn't take away from k?
Yes, sir.
You say yeah? And Serena, you sure you understand that or not?
Kind of, sir.
Alright, so Serena, in this graph, right, I want to get the maximum or the minimum. If
The maximum.
right, the maximum value, right? Now, Serena, inside this bracket, I have terms and I'm squaring the terms, you see that, right? I'm squaring the terms.
Yes, sir.
Now, if it's a maximum graph, what would A be? A positive number or a negative number?
A negative number.
Right? So you'd have a negative number over here, and inside you would have some terms, and that would be squared. Now, anytime you square something, Serena, you can get a positive or a negative output.
A positive.
So you'll always end up with a positive by a what? Remind me what A was. A was a positive or a
A
negative.
negative.
Right. And so your final result is just going to be a what?
A negative.
Right. And you're gonna be taken away from the k value. So if your goal is to find for the maximum, Serena, do you want to be taken away from the k value? Think about it, Serena. If you want to find the maximum value, do you want to be taken away from the values?
No, sir.
Nah. So you need to now figure out the only instance where that bracket is 0. So Serena, what value would make this bracket 0? In the bracket you have x plus h. What value for x would make that bracket turn to 0?
minus h.
Yes. And that is why we just say minus h comma k. Because at minus h, you get the maximum value or the minimum value. You understand?
Oh, yes, sir.
Right, bet. So, like, let me just get a little survey. How much of you guys have it copied down?
I have it, sir.
Okay, okay, cool, cool. All right. Vani, you have everything copied down?
Yes, sir.
All right, bet, bet. Shina, you have everything copied down? Can I hear? Yeah, all right. Serena, Kaylee, Saskia, Sienna, Vanessa, Christian, let me know if you guys have everything copied down or you're still copying down.
I'm finished, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. We covered it.
Finished, too.
Yes, sir.
All right, bet. Christian, what about you? What's going on? Let me know what's going on, Christian. Can I hear from Christian? All right. Amira, do you have everything copied down or not?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, let me go now. Let's go. Let's see if I can find out. Let me just come up with that question quickly. Do that. Given the function Right. Right. Okay, that's complete question. No, let's survey real quick. Are you want me to do this first question with you, or you wanna attempt it on your own? Let me get a little survey. Kaylee, what you feeling for?
So honestly, I think I could try it on my own, and I can already start trying it.
Okay, bet. Well, here what? I'm gonna time you all. Take 4 minutes. I think 4 minutes is sufficient. And give it a try. All right, guys. So anybody getting through? Christian, let me know if you're getting through. Christian, let me know. Amira, Nikolai, Sienna, are they getting through now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, bet. Saskia, you getting through with this question?
I think so. It's moving slow.
That's okay. The moving slow is not a bad thing for now. For the exam, you had to move a little fast, but yeah, you have to make sure you understand each and everything you do. So it's fine. Making progress. All right, so Kaylee, you there?
Yes, sir.
Kaylee, good job. For the first question, that's correct. That is correct.
Okay, thank you, sir.
No problem. If anybody else got through with question one, send it to me. Let me see what's going on. I'll tell you if it's correct. Amira, be honest with me. It looking tough, or you think you know what to do?
So I'm kind of confused.
Okay, that's not a problem. Glad they told me. All right, let me check out what the others sent. Okay, Serena, good job with the first screenshot. Good job with the. Okay, yeah, you got everything correct. Ah, wait. Um, all right, so Serena, one thing, you wouldn't say x-axis. It's not specifically the x-axis that's the axis of symmetry. The x-axis, Serena, is actually y is equal to 0, eh? So you can't say x-axis at x is equal to -3. You just had to write x is equal to -3. So you could say axis of symmetry, colon, x is equal to -3. All right, Sienna, let me check what you have here. All right, so we have some work to do, right? Sienna, you didn't get anything inherently wrong. You
It
just,
was my weekend. I feel like my weekend was kind of messy.
yeah. So that's the only thing we had to work on.
Okay, sir. You want me to write it over properly and then send it over?
Yeah. All right, Vani, that's correct. You did part one correct. Saskia, I don't think I have your number.
No, sir, I have your number.
Okay, well, I'll trust that you get it correct. I'll trust. I'll trust. And actually, that's a bad thing. I'm gonna trust. You might be having problems and you might need the help. So you'll let me know what's giving you trouble, right? When we start correcting it, you'll let me know. Uh Amira, you said you're a little confused, right?
So never mind, I get you are writing it.
Okay. Don't use AI, yeah? Don't use ChatGPT, otherwise you won't understand. Yeah. And trust
No,
me.
sir, I didn't read the notes on before. Like I write it, but I didn't like read it.
Oh, you didn't take it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oh wait, I'm not hearing Christian at all, but Christian.
Yes, sir. Sir, I wasn't on my laptop, sir.
Oh, okay. Were you
Sir.
I asked when I gave the question?
No, sir.
Okay, well, I feel like I gave everybody enough time, so we're gonna jump straight into it now. The next question I give, you could try it by yourself. All right, so Christian, Amira, and Saskia, y'all are gonna attempt it with me. I think everybody else sort of got through. So let's go. So Christian, the first thing I want you to do here is tell me what the quadratic function is. As the first thing I want you to do from a Christian. What is the quadratic function here? Christian, you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what is the quadratic function in this question? Do you know?
No, sir. Sir, I don't know, sir.
No, you know. What is the form of a quadratic equation?
Fx equals ax squared plus bx plus c.
Right, so look at this question and see if you see anything in that form. Are you seeing anything in that form? Ax squared plus bx plus c.
Yes, sir.
What you seeing in that form?
The A brackets X plus H bracket squared plus K.
Nah, that is in the complete any square form. So I want you to call back the form of a quadratic form again.
Fx squared, Fx equals AX squared plus BX plus C.
Right. I want you to cover this question and see if you're seeing anything that looking like that. Right? Remember this. Remember that A, B, and C are going to be real numbers, right? So A, B, and C could be any number. So look at the question and see if you're finding anything in that form. Hmm.
So with KBC,
Okay, this is not the general form of a quadratic. Eh? No, that's the complete any square form. This and this, they are not in the same form. They're not. Yeah, I don't understand that. They're not in the same form. We actually want to get this into this form. But first, I want you to recognize where the quadratic function is. Look at the question. So here, what? Read the question from a question. Get the question I read from her.
write f of x in the
That's
completing the square form.
wait a question. That's the problem. Read the whole question from the whole question. Read the
Write write f of x in
No,
the completing this.
that's not the whole question. That's not the whole question. You're forgetting something.
Oh, given the function f of x equals x squared plus x 6x plus 5, answer the following questions. Write f of x in the completed square form.
Right? Okay, so Christian, are you seeing a quadratic function in this form anyway?
Yes, sir.
Where?
At the top, sir.
Oh, where you call it out from?
F of x equals x squared plus x 6x plus 5, sir.
You see, what should you not leave out this whole question, right? What should you not leave out that whole question blank? Remember, the first thing I asked you was, are you seeing a quadratic? And you was like, nah, I'm not seeing a quadratic. But it was there, it was there. So, Christian, I don't want you to lose marks for things that you know. You know what I mean? It was there.
Yes, sir.
So, here what? After we do that, Christian, I want you to see if you can tell me what A, B, and C are. See if you can do that for me.
So A is x squared.
Nah,
B would be no,
nah. A is a number in front of x squared. Now you're not seeing
it's
that.
no, sir. A would be 1, sir.
Right, you remember. Because how much x squared you seeing over here?
1.
Right, 1x squared. Mm-hmm.
Then B would be 6x.
Now, remember b
Well, 6.
6, b is the coefficient of x.
Oh, and x is the variable.
Yes.
Okay, and C would be 5.
Right. Saskia, you get through with the spot, figuring out what A, B, and C was.
Yes, sir.
All right. Amira, let me know if you got through with the spot, figuring out what A, B, and C was.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Let's proceed. So, Christian, remind me, what is he completing in square form again?
F of x equals to A brackets x plus h bracket squared plus k, sir.
Cool. Now, I want you to tell me, right? What do we have in this form so far? What do we know so far? Is there any variable we know? We know so far?
So do we know what A is?
Yeah, we already know what A is, right? A is what?
1.
Right? So the other two things you need to figure out is what? What are the other two things you need to find?
H and k? Or
Yes, H and K.
yeah.
Remember, X Okay, I said this kind of bad, right? A is actually an unknown. You have to find for A. A is 1. X is a variable. You input different values for X to get Y value, f of X. So we already know what A is. There are two other unknowns, H and K. We need to find for H and K. So Christian, do you remember our formula for H and K?
Yes, sir. The formula for H is 6, no, B over 2A. And the formula for K is 4AC over 4A minus B2 over 4A.
Here, I feel like you might remember the other one more. Try C minus B squared over 4A. C minus B squared over 4A. You had copied that one as well, right?
Yes, sir. I copy both of them.
Okay, great. So Christian, let's get cracking. Let's try to figure out what H is. So what is B? Remind me, what was B?
So B was 6,
What was A?
A was 1.
So you're gonna end up with 6 all over 2 by 1. What's 2 by 1?
2 by 1 is 2.
Right? What is 6 over 2?
6 over 2 is 3.
Right? So the answer for H is 3. Cool. So we know what A is and we know what H is. Making progress. What's the other find for?
You have to find for K, so
Right. So tell me, what is C?
C will be 5. B B squared will be B 6 squared. And it'll be 4 brackets 1.
Cool. So we're gonna write back 5. Then it's gonna be minus with 6 squared.
6 squared is 32.
That,
No, 36, my bad, yeah.
that's fine. 36. 4 by 1 is.
4 by 1 is 4.
So 4 into 36 is what?
1 and 36 is 9, sir.
Yeah, 9. What is 5 minus 9?
5 minus 9 is -4.
Hey, what you with directed numbers? Big up yourself. Nice, man. Nice, nice. Okay. Do we now know what A, H, and K is?
Yes, sir.
Right. So now I could write this in complete in the square form. So
It'll be 1 brackets x plus 3 brackets squared equal, no, plus 4, -4.
right. So a positive by a negative is a negative. So you just simply gotta write -4.
Yes.
All right. So Amira, let me know if you was able to get this. Be honest.
Yes, sir.
All right. Uh, Saskia, you was able to get her?
Yes, sir.
All right, Vani, how about you? Vani, let me know what's going on. Vani, if you have anything here that you don't understand, just talk to me. Tell me you don't understand. We'll run it through again. It's fine. Can I hear Vani? Vanessa. Vanessa, let me know what's going on, Vanessa.
So I get it, but I forget to put the one in front of the brackets.
If you leave out the one, that's fine. You'll still get full marks.
Okay.
Full marks, that question. When you're writing 5, do you need to write 5 by 1? Or do you just write 5?
I just write 5.
Right. So if you write x plus 3 squared minus 4, that's fine as well. But this is the explicit form now.
Okay.
Cool. Is there anybody in class that don't understand this? You know I don't judge anybody. If you don't understand, that's fine. Tell me now. I will go over it. Vanessa, wait, let me just do a roll call quickly. Sienna, Saskia, Nikolai, Amira, Kaylee, Vanessa, Shayna, Serena, Vani, Christian, Samir. Let me know what's going on, guys. Anybody here confused?
No, sir, we good, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
That's I understand.
Yes.
Bets. Bets. Let's move on now. Now, Christian, it sounds like you had to do some practice. Yeah, you had to do some practice. So, Christian, read part 2 for me.
State whether the function is a maximum or minimum and y.
All right. What was the quadratic function again? Remind me.
Quadratic function was fx equals ax squared
Oh, wait.
plus
This specific one. What was this specific quadratic? What was this
or
specific one?
fx equals x squared plus 6x plus 5, I think it was.
Yeah, it was 5. And they want us to state if this function is a maximum or a minimum. What do you think it would be?
So would it be a minimum?
All right, and why you say a minimum? You gotta tell me why.
Wait, no, wait. No,
Wait,
say it'll be a maximum because because the a is more than 0.
wait, don't take your time, right? Take your time. And when you take your time, take your time. We're not in a rush. So, what is A? Remind me, what is A?
A is 1, 2.
Right, A is equal to 1. Now, if A is equal to 1, that means that A is less than or more than 0.
More than 0, sir.
Right, if you're more than 0, obviously you're positive. So, if you're positive, you're smiling or you're frowning.
Just smiling.
That's a maximum or minimum.
Oh, the minimum.
Right. So you would say f of x is a minimum because why? Because a is more than 0. Understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. You sure you understand that?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. Right. The proper thing to say here, really, wait, make this all change shape to note. State whether the function has a maximum or minimum and why. Yeah. So state whether the function has a maximum or minimum and why. And so f of x has a minimum because a is more than 0. Everybody okay with that, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Blessings. Let's move on to 3 now. 3. So, Vani, I want you to help me with 3. What do you want me to state?
The coordinates of the turning point.
Right. What question? Would this have a maximum or a minimum turning point?
Minimum.
Yeah, it have a minimum turning point, right? Because why? Why? Remind me. Remind me, Vani. Why does it have a minimum turning point? What about it tells us is a minimum turning point?
Wait, I don't know. Wait. So
That's okay. We don't judge anybody here, it's fine. Did you forget how to state if it's a maximum or minimum? All right, Vani. So let me just run through this one more time, right? So Vani, do you understand that for this quadratic, a would be 1 because it's 1x
yes,
squared,
sir.
right? And so if a is 1, is that more than 0 or less than 0?
More than.
More than 0. So it's a positive number. If you are positive, you are smiling. If you're smiling, does it look, if you're smiling, right? Look at our graph. Is our graph going up to the highest point or is it going down to the lowest point?
Lowest.
So if it's lowest, would it be maximum or minimum?
Minimum.
Right. So anytime the coefficient for x squared is positive, it's more than 0, then f of x would have a minimum turning point. If it is less than 0, meaning a is negative, it would have a maximum turning point. You understand?
Yes, I understand.
Right. So state the coordinates of the turning point. What gives the turning point? The turning point is given by what? Remember?
Can you repeat it?
Do you remember how you would find? Do you remember how you'd find the turning point?
Negative h, comma k in brackets.
Right. Negative h comma k. Great. Now in this question, we found that h was 3. So what would negative h be?
Negative 3.
Sienna, you there?
Yes, sir.
Right. So Sienna, look at this again. Right. Check this out. Check this out. Sienna, remember when we was doing the case for the other one, I said like it wouldn't want to be taken away from K because they want to find
Yes,
the maximum.
because you want to find maximum, but this one you don't want to take it because you want to find the minimum, which is less.
Right, you want to find the minimum. So you wouldn't want to be adding on anything to the negative. So if you want to just, it would just be -4, right? And what would make that bracket turn to 0?
-3.
Right, so that's why it's -3 here. You understand?
Yes,
Because
sir.
when it's -3, it will give you the minimum value. And the minimum value is just K. And where's K?
-4.
Yeah, see everything making sense now?
Yes.
Sorry, everything in maths is just so complicated until somebody sit down with you and you actively listen and you participate and you make sense of it, you realize it's not hard. It really not that hard. It just sound complicated. Like you ever notice like somebody will be using fancy mathematical words and it's sound real complicated. But like when you get down to it, they're really not that complicated. Like
Yes, sir.
yeah, like maths is sound so complicated, like it is sound like another language, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad. All right. So Saskia, 4. Help me with question 4.
So you can watch my work, please.
All right, let me check Amira. Let me see what you have here.
So is my working better?
I'm not seeing any working that we do in class.
Really?
Yeah, it looking kind of sus. A little sus.
Where?
All right. So like the first question was to write it in the complete in square form. But I'm not seeing it in the complete in square form.
So I have it like I have the answer and then I show it in the computer form after I write it over.
Okay, well, your working had to look like this.
Okay, sir.
You had to like show them how you're putting it in the complete in square form. You also had to tell them why it's a maximum or minimum. And the real reason why is because A is more than 0. That's what they're looking for. They're looking
Oh, okay,
for
sir.
what? Yeah. This the coordinates at the turning point is -h comma k. That's -3 comma -4. Right. Saskia, help me with number 4.
Is it -4?
Yes. Because remind me, in -h comma k, -h corresponds to the what axis?
X.
And
X axis.
-4 is the y axis.
Yeah.
The y, right?
Yes, sir.
If you want to figure out the minimum value, because that's what we're dealing with, and you want to figure out how low the graph going,
Yes, sir.
say look at the y-axis. The y-axis will tell you how low it's going. So the say just say the minimum value. So minimum value for f of x is equal to -4. Yeah.
Yes, I'm not asking for the minimum or max. That's like up or down on the y axis. That's why it's -4.
Say that again.
We're not asking for the maximum or minimum. That's like going up or down on the y axis.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why it's -4.
Exactly. Like, okay, if I were to draw my quadratic, this is what it would look like. I'm just gonna draw a sketch for you, right? So we know that this is a minimum, right? This is a minimum quadratic. Is that minimum, right? Yeah or no?
Yes, sir.
Why is that minimum?
Because it went down on the on the y-axis, sorry.
But okay, but what how you know is a minimum just by looking at it? Without doing any graph or anything, like how do you know is a minimum? What about the equation tells you is a minimum?
The negative 4.
I see why you would say that. I see why you would say that, but then again, I could have a you know, I could have I could have a maximum graph and the highest value is -4. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's not decisive. The real thing I want to hear that A is more than 0. A is 1. Anytime A is more than 0, it is a minimum. That's what you need to state.
Oh,
Tell them that.
okay, okay. I see.
You sure you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Let me run through it one more time, just to make sure you have it. What is the coefficient of x squared here?
1.
Right, 1. 1 is positive or negative?
Positive.
If you're positive, you're smiling or you're frowning.
Smiling.
So you look like this. This graph over here, does it look like it's going down to the minimum point or the highest point?
The minimum point.
Right, so that's how you know. If A is more than 0, then the function would have a minimum. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, bet. Let me do a quick sketch of this.
So,
Yeah?
so for number 2, right? So you don't need to draw it because I don't really. So,
This is a statement they're looking for. You need to write that statement. You don't
so
really
like,
you don't really understand this.
no, so I only know it's a minimum because the thing is going up.
Right, but will you have time in the exam to like graph it every single time?
Um,
Because okay, how did you do that sketch? Talk to me. How you do
so
that?
I just draw a line. I put 0 in the center, and then I draw like the little numbers, and I put it in like intervals so I could draw the line, and I could figure out what the turning point is.
You gotta explain to me what you're doing, right? Because I see you figure out what the y-intercept would be. That's correct. That part is correct. Um,
So okay, so you see like. So I just draw it like a normal graph, and so I'm not gonna lie, I kind of guess it, because they're not really
okay,
accurate.
okay. Well, okay, if you guess, nah. What's the ones you guessing in maths?
So
Nah,
no,
wrong.
so not like guess, but like, so, okay, so like you see like how on a graph, like you'll just put like the 0, and then you'll put like the numbers.
Okay, nah. We have a problem there. We have a problem there. That's nah.
All right.
We have a problem there. Because what if the graph was negative x squared plus 6x plus 5? Maybe you'll still draw it like that. So let me get down to it, right? So Amira and anybody else in class, I might be confused. Let me get down to this. Gonna erase this and we're gonna run through it one more time. Right, so Amira, let me just write it down over here. So Amira, do you know what the form of a quadratic is?
Yes, sir.
Talk to me. Which is?
So that's like what fx would be equal to, like,
So tell me the general form of a quadratic. I'll start you off. Ax squared
plus bx plus cx.
nah, bx plus c. So ax
Oh.
squared plus bx plus c. Now, if a, which is the number in front of x squared, is more than 0, that means a positive. Think about it. If I tell you I have a number and the number is more than 0, logically, if I tell you a number is more than 0, that means a positive or negative.
Positive.
Right. If you're positive, you're smiling or you're frowning.
Smiling.
Right. Would you call that okay? When you look at this, right, does it look like it's going down to the high? It's going up to the highest point, or it's going down to the minimum point?
It's going down.
It's going down to the minimum.
So right, so I understand that,
But this is what tells you. This is what tells you for sure. If A is more than 0, then you know this is the case. You know that is the case for sure. And if A is less than 0 now, that means that A is positive or negative.
negative.
Right, negative. If you're negative, you're frowning. You're sad. And that'll be a maximum. So this is where you have to say. You have to say, you gotta write these statements, right? So you'll say, if A is more than 0, then f of x has a what? Maximum or minimum?
Minimum.
Right. And then you would say if A is less than 0, then what?
It has a maximum.
Right. And so this is how you know if it's a maximum or minimum. Because of this is how you know.
Let me write that.
Hey, wait. It depends on how, at what point you join the class. Because, I mean, you did join the Form 4 lessons. Because we had gone through that last class too, in the summary. We had went
So
through,
I joined kind of late.
now the summary was to the end of the class. That was like the end of the class. But take a screenshot in the interest of time. Take a screenshot quickly.
Okay. So I get it.
All right. So a way to look at this question, right? You think you could tell me what A is?
Like it will be x, like x squared.
Now A wouldn't be x squared. So remember, the formula for quadratic is ax squared plus bx plus c. Basically, the coefficient tells us the number of that term we have. So like, for instance, Amira, how much x's do you think we have here?
X.
Yes, we have 6 x's. So 6 is the coefficient of x. So b is equal to 6. You understand that?
Yes.
Right? So how much x squared you see in here?
1.
Right. You're not seeing it in literally, you're not seeing it, right? But it does mean 1x squared. So what do you think A is?
1.
Right. A is 1. If A is 1, if A is equal to 1, what does that say about A? Which one of the cases that is? If A is equal to 1, which case is that?
So it will have a, so it more than 0, so it will have a minimum.
Yeah, and that is how you know. That is what they're looking for. And that is how you know for sure if it's a maximum or a minimum. If it has a maximum or minimum. So then you would write f of x has a minimum because why? Tell me why. Because what?
Because a is more than 0.
Right. So now you would not be guessing at all. You would actually, you know why now. If you see a negative number in front of that, that is a maximum one time because A is less than 0. Cool.
Okay,
So let me do a little sketch quickly, right? Let me do a little sketch. Oh, yeah. 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 So if you were to actually sketch this out quickly, you would get something looking like this. So if you factorize that and you put it equal to 0 and you find your roots, we did that in the last class. If I factorize that, that'll be x there, x there. The last number is 5. The last number is 5, right? And I want to get 6, so that'll be 1 and 5. You put that equal to 0, x would be equal to -1, and x would be equal to -5. So if I'm doing a quick sketch, -1 would go here, and -5 would go here. And wait, yeah, Saskia, remind me, what was the minimum turning point again?
-4.
-4, right? No, the turning point. The point. If I say point, I mean x comma y coordinate. Yeah,
Oh, -3, -4.
right. -3 comma -4. So what would go over here?
-3.
Right, -3 would go over here. And could somebody tell me what's going to go on the y-axis? Talk to my guys. What do you think going on the y-axis?
-4.
-4. So when you look at this, what is the minimum value of the function? What's the what's like the minimum? What's like the smallest? What's like the lowest value? When you look at this, what's the lowest value? Somebody tell me, like forget about maths and everything. Just look at it and observe something. What's the lowest value the graph going down to?
-4.
Yeah, I think we could all see that, right? Like the lowest value it going down to is -4. So the minimum value for f of x is -4. So Saskia, you understand 100% why the maximum or the minimum value is given by k, which is the y value,
Yes, sir.
right? Cool. Number 5. So what value of x gives the maximum min? Now again, we have a min, right? What value of x gives me the min? Could somebody tell me that? What value of x gives me this minimum?
-3.
Perfect, -3. Cool. At which and that'll be -3. Last one, the axis of symmetry. If I wanted to, put on a line of symmetry, a line that would split that parabola in two symmetrical halves, where would I put a line? That line would have to be passing through what? A mirror. A mirror. If I wanted to put on a line here that would split that parabola, a parabola is just a curve, right? This is proper name for it. That curve is called a parabola. So, a mirror. Where would I have to draw a line? Cut it.
So by -3.
Right. I would have to draw a line passing through -3. A vertical line passing through -3. You seeing that?
Yes, sir.
So what would be the axis of the symmetry then?
-3.
That is not nah. When we say axis of symmetry, we're talking about an equation. So like Amira, that line passing through which axis? The x-axis or the y-axis? So this green line over here, it passes through the x-axis or the y-axis?
So the x.
Right. So it's passing through the x-axis at x is equal to what?
-3.
Right? So this is the answer. X is equal to -3. Because that line is passing through the x-axis at -3. So x is equal to -3. Yeah? You understand that?
Yes, so in CXC, right? So if you don't put like x or y, you'll get wrong. And like it just put the
You get it wrong. You get it wrong. Because they're asking you for the axis of symmetry, the y equation. You can't just put -3. You'll get it wrong. Yeah.
okay.
I mean, it's not hard to remember. Amira, again, this line, it passing through what axis?
The x.
At what value?
-3.
Right, so x is negative. X is equal to -3.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. And well, the last question they could potentially ask you is state the range, say the range of f of x. No, The reason I did functions before doing this is because this is a heavily all of this is just functions, All of this is just functions. So like when I say state the range of f of x, I want you to tell me like the range for the y values. So here what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna go on the y-axis. Let's go on the y-axis, shall we? So this is the y-axis, the x-axis. I have a question, guys. So this is the y-axis over here, right? What is the minimum value my graph goes down to?
-4.
-4. So my range would have to be, what? What would my range be? So it goes down to -4. Some of you all might be confused, so let me try to explain what I'm talking about. So the lowest point the graph going down to is what? Remember? What's the lowest point the graph going down to?
-4.
Everybody's seeing that, right? It going down to -4. Let me know if you're seeing that. Sienna, Amira, Fanny, Kaylee, it going down to -4. We seeing that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if it's going down to -4, that means that's the minimum value. So you would need to say that f of x, what do you think? Would you say f of x is more than or less than -4? If you had to say, what would you say? Would you say that the function, the f of x, which is y, would you say that is more than -4 or less than -4? Okay, we might still be confused, right? I'm gonna call some people. Sienna, there?
Yes, sir.
So Sienna, what is the lowest value you could get from this graph? What's the lowest value you could get?
-4.
Right. And when we're talking about the lowest value, we're talking about y, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So in other words, the minimum value is -4. So like, could I get anything less than -4?
No, sir.
Let me ask that question to the class. Guys, Kaylee, Saskia, Amira, Vani, Nikolai, Serena, Vanessa, Christian, could I get a value less than -4? Look at the graph. Could I get a value less than -4?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Because where's the minimum value this graph going down to?
-4.
-4.
So
-4, sir.
so tell me, would you say y is more than or equal to -4, or would you say y is less than or equal to -4?
Less
More
than.
than or equal.
Yes, more than or equal to -4. Again, you cannot say less than or equal to. Does the graph, okay, if you say less than or equal to, then you're saying that your range goes lower than -4. What is the minimum value the graph goes down to? To the person that told me less just now, I'm not judging you. All of us learning here. I'll wait to unmute yourself. We'll go through it together.
How me, sir?
All right, so Nikolai, if you say less than, right, that would include values like -5, -6, -7. You understand?
Yes, sir.
But does the graph, does the range cover there?
No, sir.
No, it does not. The minimum value is what?
-4.
So that's the smallest value this function could give you. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So which one is
It just when I saw the numbers, that was my God.
that's okay? So which one is correct?
Number one.
Number one. So you could get a value for y that is more than or equal to -4. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
If you don't understand this, Amira, if you don't understand this, just tell me and I'll explain it again.
No, sir, I understand.
So Amira, what's the lowest value you could get for y?
-4.
You could get anything less than that?
No, sir.
You could get something more than that?
Yes, sir.
Right. So that's why you say y is more than or equal to -4. Wait. You could write it like that if you want, or you could write f of x is more than or equal to -4. Either one is fine. You know why? F of x is the same thing as what? Remind my guys. F of x is the same thing as what? What is f of x?
Y.
Exactly. So it doesn't matter. You can write either one. Either one is fine. F of x is the output for the function, which is y. So, does everybody understand this question?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Hear what? I'm going to give you another complete question like this for homework because I'm really not feeling well. It's already 7 o'clock. I can't believe the time flies so fast. But it's already 7 o'clock. So let me give you all a question for homework. And Christian, I know you're busy and thing, but you have to do practice, otherwise you're gonna forget everything you learn. I don't want that to happen. I don't think you want that to happen either. So you gotta find time to practice, otherwise you're just gonna forget everything you learn. And it'll be kind of pointless, which is no bueno. I don't want to fear. Or anybody here. All right. You know, sometimes I will find myself like not doing homework or whatnot, or like, and I'll be like, no, no, no. I set a bad example for my students. I'm gonna do better. So like, I just struggle with these things too, you know. But you had to do it for your own good. Nobody coming to save you. You had to lock in for yourself. You know what I mean?
Facts,
Hey,
sir. Facts.
yeah, yeah. Vonnie, let me know if you're confused.
No, sir, I understand everything.
Yeah, sure.
Very sure.
I like that. I like the sureness in your response. Before we go, we'll do a summary, a quick summary, and then we'll go. Let me just come up with a question quickly.
So in my working, like how I had the first part that was wrong, like how I write it was wrong, right? I need to like show that that's the answer.
Yeah, you need to put work in for everything. So like the working I said, yeah, is like the ideal working that I want to see in the exam. If you skip out anything, pressure, you're not gonna get full marks. Not gonna get full marks. Like, okay, I could tell you we could leave out. After you do this substitution, you could jump straight to this answer because you have a calculator, right? You can put 6 over 2 by 1 in the calculator and you get the answer one time. Same thing over here. After you do this substitution, you can just plug that into your calculator and jump to k is equal to -4 one time. But they want to see the formula and the substitution. That's what they want to see. And then the answer. So formula, substitution, answer.
Okay, so thank you.
No problem. Let me give all that a question quickly. It's a homework. And I'll make all take screenshots and then I'll put it in the chat. All right. So, um, I'll ever watch a new SpongeBob movie.
Yes, sir.
Right now, my baby cousin's singing that Ice Spice song, boy. Hmm.
The big guy, sir.
Yeah, boy, he's singing that song. I don't even know where he hear about that. Like, hmm. He really singing it loud too, eh?
So it's at the end of the movie, so that's probably why.
Probably hear him now. Too funny, too funny. And I get sure, and I had to watch what they're watching, eh? You never know what these kids watching on their iPad. You never know.
Yes, sir, you actually never know, sir. So if you see what I catch my little brother watching,
I
sir.
don't want to know. I don't want to know. Now, no, at least nine. No, not in this class. Not in this class. I don't. I'm fine. I'm fine. Feel like it might be sus. I'm fine. I don't underestimate these kids. Like they watch some sus stuff. Like until you know Love Island and how it's have like the AI version. I don't know. with like
Yes,
Yes, sir.
with the
With yam
strawberry, with
fruits, sir.
strawberry.
Yeah,
Could
I
I
know that. I
remember?
watched that.
and mango. I forget your name.
So I really
Mango.
don't like strawberry.
I don't think anybody likes it, to be honest. Yeah. And oh god, these all of these AI videos had like the same song. Like and it's the same plot, you know, it's the same plot. It's the
Yes, sir.
oh god. I don't know why I just watch it all though. That's a question. I don't have no idea why.
Yes, sir. Sir, even though it's AI, sir, it has been real interesting, sir, to watch.
I was say
And even though you know what's gonna happen, sir, it'll still be interesting.
I don't understand why. I don't understand why. And here what? I'm gonna throw in a bonus question just to tie in everything that we did throughout quadratics. Sketch the graph of f of x, including you must include the roots. Remind me, guys, the roots is just another name for what? Roots is just the what? What are the function?
The intercept, sir.
Which intercept? Which
The
intercept?
x-intercept.
X-intercept. Great. I want you to tell me where the roots are. I want you to tell me where the y-intercept is. And we did everything here, right? I would not give you all something that I didn't teach you all. Right? We did all of this in detail. So roots, y-intercept. I want you to show me where the turning point is. Great. I said this is this I can't put homework in big, you know. I can't put homework in big here. All right, so take a screenshot of this and put it in the chat. And I want each of you guys to comment under saying homework. So you yourself say you had homework. So if you do that, that'll be kinda sus. All right, so take a screenshot of this, put it in the chat, and caption it saying, I have homework. Not just Christian, the rest of you guys, do stick. Take a screenshot, put it in the chat, say you have homework. Let's ask you, I can't really do that because in any group chat. Yet. I don't know if you will want to continue, but you can still try the homework. It's good practice. You should be able to do all of this. Ryan, I'm teaching our class. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Vani, you there? I know Vani here, boy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Vani. You sure you understand everything?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I know, like okay, you just say you understand it, right? But when you go to do the question for yourself, you just realize, oh, I don't really understand this. So like if I ever reach one of those points, just send my message on the chat, on the group chat. So it will help everybody. But yeah, guys, that's it for the Form 4 class. I'll see the Form 5 people shortly. Have a good day, guys. And have a good night, guys. Later.
Okay, you too.
I
You
said,
too. Bye.
Yes.
Bye bye.